Yo, I'm never, I'm never biting off more than I can chew in this life again. And that, I mean that for anything. Like, you know, I'm looking back on it and I'm realizing that it's all a part of life. It's all a part of life's journey. Like the irresponsible shit, um, just make it the bad decision making, um, immaturity, as just a young man that for one wasn't taught the right way, that didn't have a great foundation or a real good support system, a real family. Like I mean, I had family like that I call family, but they wasn't family. But what I noticed, bro, is like when I stepped into what they call adulthood or becoming an adult, a grown up, um, I it was like I damn near sabotaged my own life. Um, I made so many bad decisions. I bit off uh I bit off way too much. Um, way too much. Uh, more than I can chew, more than I can fucking digest. Uh, you know, and it started with um I blamed alcohol for a lot of shit, and I'm realizing that now too. I blamed it for a whole lot of my decision making. But I had really bad morals and principles to begin with. Like my foundation was already weak. Um, I already was like uh I already was just like a bad decision maker. And I think alcohol, just like with anything else, any other drug, it just enhances who you are, who you are without it. It just enhances it. You know what I mean? Like whether you a shy person, alcohol can make you brutally honest, it can make you aggressive. Like, it just enhances, man. So I already was a bad decision maker. I already was the type to like bite off more than he could chew. Obviously, right? So, um, but I just was thinking to myself, like, bro, I'm never biting off more than I could chew, like as long as I should live, like because it brings so much depression and anxiety to your life. Um, it lowers the quality of your life drastically. Like, even for instance, like, um, me having kids before I was ready. Uh, me financing a car before I was ready. Um, having more kids, like having my second child before I was ready. Um, One of the things that, like I said, I just mentioned that I realized that was a really, really bad, a poor life decision was financing a car, being in a rush, being eager before I even knew what the fuck I was doing. My APR was like 19%. My car note was like four something a month, but what I know, like, and to some people that might sound like regular, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like a lot of this shit that we do, a lot of this shit that I was doing, I was just I was just digging myself a hole. Um, and I'm realizing that now, like, it's so much, it's so much contentment, it's so much beauty and just just not doing shit just to do it. Like having shit have meaning. You know what I mean? Like living life meaningful, making sound decisions, making conscious decisions. Um, when you make impulsive decisions, it can ruin your life, bro. It can ruin the quality of life that you're living. Um, like I said, even like something like having a car note, I resented that shit so much. That shit stressed me out so much. Having a second child before I was ready to, and feeling like I needed to get a car because now instead of one child, I got two kids. I can't have them at the bus stop. I can't have my baby mom at the bus stop. Like I did so much shit um that forced me to have to be in situations and live a life that I didn't enjoy living, or in situations that I didn't want to be in scenarios that I didn't want to have to be in. Like, you know what I mean? And that shit stressed me out. I think that made me start drinking more. You know, even something as down as like something as small as like recently my uncle reached out to me, right? Uh and he had some puppies that he just had a litter of puppies, right? And kind of like my dog, but they was like a mixed breed, but it was like I got a Shar Pei and they was like a Shar Pei mixed with like a bull terrier, right? And this is how I knew that all of the bad decision making that I made in my past, nobody's better than nobody, because some people make bad decisions and they just uh there some it might be a little worse than others, but bad decisions is bad decisions, bro. Biting off more than you could chew is like just biting off more than you could chew. But he was like, yo, nephew, what's up? Like, blah blah blah, all this shit. And somehow, some way, I end up with a puppy. Like a fucking puppy that I don't need. I got a fucking dog I can't take care of. I left my job. I don't have nothing coming in. You see what I'm saying? But those are the biting off more than I can chew type of moments that I'm speaking about. Like, why the fuck would I go get another dog and I can't take care of the one I got? Why the fuck would I have another child and I can't take care of the one I got? I mean, I got 3 kids now, but you know, and things are shaping and forming and things are a little bit different. But just even in those moments of like 2016, 2017, it just put me under so much stress because I was like, I don't have control of my life. Like I don't have control of my life. What the fuck am I doing? It's like I'm sabotaging myself purposely. I'm doing shit that I shouldn't be doing. And I think like that was something that I had to go into solitude and I had to detach from so many things to realize that the things mean nothing. You know what I mean? A lot of the things that we want and we crave, like I want a bigger car, I want a truck, I got a family of 4 now, or whatever the case may be, or it's 5 of us, it's my 3 kids and it's my kids' mom and me. Just throwing out an example. Oh, I feel like I need a bigger truck now. But I also told myself from my prior experience of having a car note with my car, I paid it off, but I would never I would never do another car note because of just the stress and the overpayments and how they really rip you off. You know what I'm saying? But they know you want that car, or you desire that car, or you need that car, or you think you need that car, and they capitalize off of that. But I told myself like those are the things that I would never do again. And I only was able to understand and confirm those feelings being in solitude, realizing how how much you really can win and enjoy life living a minimal lifestyle. You got people out here that will afterpay sneakers, bro. They'll get some $900 sneakers and they'll make payments on them. That's fucking insane, bro. That's ridiculous. That's like what? That's disgusting. You got people out here that would do anything to keep up with the Joneses, and I was one of them people. Like not anything, but even like I said, getting a car, I could have waited. And that shit bring me so much misery. Like when I should have been happy about the car, I was miserable about the car. Having more kids meant that I had to stay at the job that I hated. I fucking hated working there. But once I had a second kid, I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. I gotta pay these bills. I gotta take care of these kids. And I think the lesson I learned, and I'm learning even like discussing this and explaining this on this camera, is like I had to step away from doing things that was going to like keep me in uncomfortable, stressful, depressing situations. Like I had to stop doing things. I had to learn to stop doing things that was going to keep me like miserable, depressed, unhappy. And a lot of the things that I was doing was forcing me to stay in situations that had me uncomfortable, that had me miserable and stressed. I was doing shit that was forcing my hand, that was forcing me to make impulsive decisions, that was forcing me to survive, that had me in survival mode. But The only reason I was in survival mode so much is because I was making dumbass decisions. I was starting with dumbass decisions. And then the way I had to pay for them was a whole nother thing. And that shit left me so low and like depressed and like stressed and anxious. And man, like, so even just thinking about that and having that thought, I just felt like getting on the camera and just talking about that. Like, yo, I'm never biting off more than I can chew. It's not worth it. Whether it's the car you want, the house you want to live in, like even that. Like, all right, I talk about the car and the car and no thing. And again, being in solitude allowed me to see, like, bro, you don't need none of that shit. And if you want it, and if you feel like you need it, or if you want it, go about it the right way. Take your time, save the money, or or recognize and realize when you're not ready. It's okay not being able to afford it. It's okay to tell yourself, I'm not ready for that. You know what I mean? And that might save you a world of stress and depression and anxiety and like just all of that. You know what I mean? But um I was just realizing like it's just none of this shit is worth it, bro. None of it. The positions we put ourselves in for these things or for these just it's not fucking worth it. And like I said, being in solitude just allowed me to realize like, yo, and that's why I tell motherfuckers like I'm okay with if I never can mortgage a house because I'm never going to put myself in a position again to where it's all I can afford is the house. I can't afford to live my life. I can't afford to do nothing enjoyable because I made a decision to, you know, really, again, it's the things that we think we need or we want or we have to have. And it's like, if those things are bringing you or yeah, if those things are bringing you more uh sadness than happiness or if those things are like not bringing you joy, 9 times out of 10, bro, like that's not the shit you need. Or you're not ready for it. And a lot of the times we force our way into things. We force things. And it's just not worth it. Like it's just not. And it just gives me anxiety even talking about and thinking about all of the things that I used to do to myself to make me to put me in these situations, man. Like, and I'm just so happy and thankful that I was able to come out of these things, some of these things, without the end result being the ultimate, you know, thing that a lot of people go through, like a car. Your shit might get repoed, or you might lose your house, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm just happy that none of those things had happened to me and I was able to pay my car off and but I wasn't ready for that shit. I'm happy that I naturally just developed into a good dad or I understood how to be a dad, how to be a parent. Cause I mean, people think you just have kids and you could just do that shit, and it's just no, it's not. It's a lot to it. So I'm just happy that nothing ended in disaster. But the price I paid and the stress that I developed and the anxiety and like, the spurts of depression, the things that I went through gaining weight, like I paid for them. I paid for uh I paid for you just making impulsive decisions, making bad decisions. I have fucking paid for them. I'm glad that, like I said, nothing ended in like extreme disaster, but I still paid. I paid, and I paid for a long time. I feel like I overpaid, but who am I to dictate that? But yeah, man, like that shit, it don't be worth it. If you can't afford it, if you can't get it at the time, it's probably not time. It's probably just not your time. It's probably not ready for you. And forcing it ain't gonna make it no better. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm a hustler. I get anything. Oh yeah, watch me do this, watch me do that, bro. You gonna fuck yourself over in the end, bro. And it's not even worth it. You know what I mean? Like, Afterpay for shoes is crazy. Afterpay for a $300 basketball jersey is crazy. Afterpay for anything that you just that you can probably get if you take your time and, allow yourself to make a good decision or make the best decision. And that's what I developed in solitude, is like the tool to start sitting back, stepping back before just saying, "Yup, give me that. Give me two of those. Give me three of those." Allowing myself to step back and analyze what's going on, analyze the situation. Like I would have never, if today's me, I would never go into a car dealership and fucking let them give me a 21% APR rate and have me paying double, maybe even triple the worth of the car. Yeah, they had reliability, they had warranties and shit like that, and whatever the deductible and the stuff, certain shit that it came with, but it still wasn't worth me paying. When I paid the car off, I for a car with a value of 15,800 dollars. That was the value. I paid 34,000 for something that was $15,000. $15,000 800. $15,800. I paid 34.7 or some shit. So again, like it's I love this shit. Like even when it's bad and you can't see that it's some good or it's what's gonna come out of it. This journey of life, and as long as you listen, this is something else I want to say. Are as long as you strive and aspire to live a quality life, as long as you want good things out of life and you want good for yourself, however that may look for you, you're going to get to a point in life where you're going to take pride in that. You know what I mean? Like that's going to mean the most to you. And I'm at that point in life and I can feel it. Like I'm appreciating life and the journey that much more because I'm not a reckless young dickhead just running around not giving a fuck. And yo, that shit means so much to me, bro. I'm so happy that I was even, you know, given this opportunity, because some people never even ever wake up or never even see things for what they are or how bad they are. You know what I mean? At living life. And I'm just thankful that I was able to, for one, if I never left my job, I would have never been given the opportunity to see this shit and understand this shit and step away from things and just gather myself. But solitude afforded me so much that even in the moments of the journey, I just didn't understand it. There's no way I would have had a way of understanding or knowing. But now, uh, I see, like I needed that, you know what I mean, and I needed that shit to like help me with where I'm going in life and help me with uh just things moving forward. And like I said, just being able to step back and evaluate or just analyze things and just make better decisions with life, because the decisions we make, they truly do cost, and everything has a different price tag, you know what I mean. And I paid some hefty ass prices when I probably didn't have to, you know what I'm saying. But all of that shit comes from biting off more than you can chew and putting yourself in compromising positions and situations and scenarios, and when you don't have to, you don't never want to be in a position where you do anything in life when you like, damn, that wasn't worth it. Because sometimes you can't turn it off. You can't take it back. You can't return it. You got to ride that shit out. Like kids, like a car note, if you care, or if you in a position where you care about your credit, or you know what I mean, like you gotta ride this shit out. A lot of that shit, you bought a house, you can't be like, man, fuck this shit, man, I want to downsize, I'm giving it back, I want an apartment, this shit hard. Like those big things in life, and a lot of us, we just make bad decisions, and it's costly, you know what I'm saying. But yeah,